Well, hello everyone. I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here this evening to bring you a live paper crafting class here on YouTube. It is May 6, 2026, and we're going to create with a new suite called Silly Old Bear, and it is stinking cute. It's available now. It was available yesterday, and so it's totally new. Plus, along with that, we're going to show off some of the new in colors. This is a new line of color in cardstock inks. You can get markers, you can get ink refills, cardstock paper. I already said cardstock twice. Ribbons, embellishments. There's all kinds of fun things that coordinate with Stampin' Up! Products. And so because this suite has some of those in colors in them, we're going to be using those. So welcome everybody. It's so fun to see the comments roll in. I was flying by the seat of my pants this morning and couldn't do the live today at my regular time. I hope you forgive me for that, but there were lots of things going on in my personal world, and so I thought, you know what, I'm going to push it out. And that allowed me actually to have some time to create a second version of this card too. So in the little preview that you see for the video, at least right now during this live, I have one card in there, and that's the one I'm going to teach you, but I have a second version to share too. So all right, so welcome. It's so fun. I'm reading your comments right now. We do not have Trisha because we're going a little bit later in the day, so I'm going to work my hardest at trying to pay attention to comments, answer questions, lead you in the right direction. I do want to tell you ahead of time that there are informational links and like to the products, to things that I talk about in the description of the video, so you can refer to that for connecting to some of these products. I also want to say that if you want to replicate this, you can purchase the products through me. If you're a demonstrator, purchase from yourself. And if you have a demonstrator already, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, then purchase from them. I love sharing, so here we go. All right, let's go down to the desktop. This is the new catalog, and I can open it up for you. Inside here are, oh, there we go. I turned right to that page. New colors. We have Barely Blush, Crisp Cantaloupe, Golden Glow, Peaceful Pine, and Hydrangea Hue. And those colors will stick around for a couple years. So you'll see them this year from May to the end of April. And then you'll see them one more year from May to the end of April. So plenty of time to collect the colors that you love the most. You can see products that are already in here that are shown in those colors. Lots of fun stuff. Hydrangea Hue. You know what? This pad was unavailable yesterday when I placed an order, and now it's available today. So keep on trying. Keep checking back in the store. The other products that I'm going to share with you are from the online exclusives. Now, online exclusive products are not available in catalogs. Like, they're not shown in catalogs, and there's a whole bunch of them. So if you're just looking at catalogs, you guys, you're missing out on a whole bunch of stuff, including the Silly Old Bear Suite. The Silly Old Bear Suite includes paper and a couple different bundles and an embossing folder. I'm going to show those products to you right now. Let's see, where did I put them? Oh, they're right here. So, ton of stuff here. First of all, let's just take a peek at one of the bundles. This is the Sweet Old Friends bundle. You can see that we have Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore and Piglet and Roo and Kanga and, oh gosh, Rabbit, all the characters. Tigger, my favorite, some honey and all of that. And then you have dies that can cut these out. You also have some supplementary type dies where we can do like a honeycomb type of cut into cardstock. We have a pot and the honey coming out of the pot. We have leaves. We have a stump, some poles to like hold up signs. Really cute stuff, you guys. And then this is the other bundle. This one is called Sweet Words and Labels. And again, you can see we have some images, we have sentiments in here, and then we have all of these labels that can layer onto each other. We also have acorns and leaves. So we're going to be playing around with those. And there's also an embossing folder that comes with this kit. It's a huge, large embossing folder. The image sort of looks like this. I mean, it won't come out looking like that exactly, but it gives you the kind of guideline of what it would look like if you embossed it onto paper. We won't be using that today, but it's a map, right? And then we have the paper. And the designer paper called Silly Old Bear has 3 colors in it that are, is it 3? Yeah, 3 colors. Barely Blush is a new one, Golden Glow, and Hydrangea Hue. There is a green in here, Mossy Meadow, and then there's some Old Olive. But I found that the Peaceful Pine actually works really well with this too. That leaves one of the 5 colors out, that's Crisp Cantaloupe. But I think that if you purchase the variety pack of cardstock, which includes all 5 of those colors, so you get all of these here, you would have some great coordination to go with this bundle. So I'm going to recommend that. That's what's listed in the supplies. You can also get like the whole bundle. Here's the 5th one. The whole bundle of ink pads, and these are in the new style, you guys. They're magnetic, so they're easy to open. They stay sealed. You can label them on the side. The labels are right here, and then you can add a label to the inside. There's actually 2 that are written in English, it looks like. Peaceful Pine, Peaceful Pine. When I first put these on a live even, I'm like, oh, there's a French version, and I don't know what I was, anyway, I don't know. What languages are those? I don't know, but they're in different languages. Forgive me for not looking that up ahead of time. But yeah, so if you buy them in the US, you're getting your US language on there twice, it looks like. So that's great for labeling on the inside and on the outside. We'll be using the Hydrangea Hue color. These are the papers, and they're double-sided. You get 2 of each. And I don't have them in a very good order here because I've been cutting them up. That one I've already showed you. This one here, there's a map, and then the woods. But you got the idea here, right? Lots of fun Pooh Bear type images. There's another one. There's one here with the clouds. And then there's like these frame ones too. So this one here has all of these little frame things that coordinate with the dies. And then there's a striped background. And then there's this one, which has some scenery on it. So we're going to be cutting into a couple of these papers. I'm just going to leave them here. What else do I want to share with you? Ribbons. I'm going to share with you the ribbons. So there are ribbons in all 5 colors. There are embellishments in all 5 colors. We're going to be using the Hydrangea Hue one. So I'll put that over there. And then embellishments. I just wanted to bring in a couple of those. So I'm not showing you all the in-color products, but I do want to show you that there's a lot of coordination with Stampin' Up! And it makes it very easy to create really awesome stuff. So this is the same embellishment. It's just a little bit less of it because I've been using it. So we'll be using the dots, not the butterflies today. Let me show you the card, shall I? Okay, let's show you the second one that I won't be demonstrating for you today. This is the one that I made after I made the first one. We have some embossing on this one, and that particular embossing folder is the Paradise Garden embossing folder. It actually comes with some dies, and you see that? It pops up, or it slides out, pops up, whatever. It does that. It moves. It's an interactive card. It's so cool. So we're going to be doing that with another version of this. You can see Pooh Bear is reaching up towards the honey. There's Piglet right there looking to see what he's getting. Here's some pots down here with a little bit of a scenery. And on the front, they're walking together. It never hurts to keep looking up. Now this one is not an open type of card because you don't have to necessarily make an additional opening on it. You could write on the inside here or on the back side. It closes with magnets, you can see, so it keeps this nice and flat. This is the version we'll be making, and it actually does have a second opening on it back here, so it opens like a normal card, but then it also opens here. And there's Pooh Bear floating up into the sky with a balloon like that. So we'll be making that tonight. I want to give a shout out to the demonstrator. Let me find that post here because I don't want to get her name wrong. Is this it? Hang on a minute. This is it. Okay. The demonstrator's name is Ingrid Hafner. I think she's from Germany. I'm not sure. I couldn't find that information out and I didn't have time to reach out to her, but she speaks German. And then she credits another demonstrator, Rachel Aziamati. And I've actually met Rachel. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, Rachel. And awesome first name, by the way. But yeah, so she credits her. And so I have links in my blog post, which will go live later on tonight. And those you can see their original videos on what the kind of cards are that they made. Now, because they used A4 and metric, I had to convert. And I had a request from one of my viewers, Karen F. Thank you, Karen, for reaching out to me and giving me links to Ingrid's video because it inspired this creation today. So yay for that. So it's using letter size cardstock with imperial or inches type measurements instead of metric. And if you have ever seen the difference between those kinds of cards, the letter kind of cardstock, which is what we use in the US, is this size. Okay, so here we have 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so and then with metric, letter size cardstock, A4 cardstock is skinnier and it's taller. So you have to do some, it's not just a straight conversion. It's kind of monkeying with things a little bit differently to get that conversion to work right. So I hope I did a good job, but I do have to tell you that when we are making these cards, there's some flexibility. There's a couple things that I think are important to keep in mind when making a card like this, but if you watch the other 2 videos, again, I'll have links to them in the blog post that is linked in the description of the video. So you can go to that blog post soon, you can click on there and you can watch their videos. But there's just a couple commonalities, even though their cards are slightly different and there's there's an opening on this one, there isn't on this one. So you don't have to have preciseness on a whole bunch of it, except for just a couple areas, okay? You can even rearrange where, thanks, Mary. You can even rearrange where your magnets go. I did my magnets in similar places on these cards, but if you watch Rachel's video, the other demonstrator, she puts a magnet in the middle. So, you can adjust it. And you don't necessarily have to have magnets. You could do Velcro dots. You could leave the magnets off. It's just that it's a little looser on the front. And you can see down here that none of this is connected because you have to be able to have a sliding mechanism on this. So it has to just, continue to be loose down here. The only part that's attaching on this particular card is this section, the back side of it. Okay, same thing with this one. This section, the back side of it. That's the only part that's connecting up there. So, and this connection is a little longer. Those are the measurements I'm going to give you because I started off with these, but I found with my magnets, I needed this to be a little bit longer in here. So we're going to do this version here just with a little bit longer cardstock and the measurements that I think are more helpful to you. And again, then we'll take a peek at these cards in the end. So let's go ahead and pull in our trimmer. I love your comments, you guys. This is so fun. Get it before it goes on back order. I love it. Lisa just said, I already lost the battle. Get it before it goes on back order. All right, so we're going to use very vanilla cardstock because that's one of the colors that coordinates with this. And I'm going to zoom out just a tad so you can see a little bit better. Maybe I zoomed out too much. From this piece of cardstock, you're going to have your card base. And again, if you want it to open like this, you'll cut your cardstock in half this way. Now I have to tell you, Ingrid cut hers in half this way. So there's another thing. You don't have to have, if you want your card to open, it can open any way you want, really. I'm going to do it this way. And then I've cut off a portion of this side to make two pieces that work on the front as the mechanism. You have a little strip that's left over, and you can certainly use that strip as the part that goes up and down that slides the characters or the flowers coming out of a pot of flowers or mushrooms, looking at all their videos, you're going to love it. Lots of different ideas. But this is kind of skinny. And so I brought in a slightly wider piece and it's slightly shorter, but as long as you have a piece that is less than 2 5/8 inches this way wide, then you should be good. The 2 5/8 inches is probably the widest it can go because you want it to fit in a slit that's on the card, okay? But it can be shorter slightly, it can be longer slightly. Mine is 2x4, okay? And this is hydrangea hue. So we're gonna use that. And again, your card can open. Oops, move that away. It can be an open type card base, or it can be a flat type card base. So if you make a flat one, you actually have a lot more cardstock left over from that piece of vanilla. I'm gonna go ahead and stick with what I originally did on the card, and I'm gonna make one that opens. So we'll pull these pieces aside and we'll measure all of them. And I'm just gonna grab some other pieces over here. Okay, clean that up. And then I'm gonna introduce to you 3 more layers because we need to show you all the measurements. So this piece, half a sheet of cardstock, measures 4 1/4 inches in this direction, 4 1/4 by 11. And now I think I can zoom in maybe a little bit more. And then it's scored in the middle, the halfway point. Oops, there we go, 11. It's scored at the halfway point at 5 1/2 inches. Okay, so that makes up our card base. You'll want to have a bone folder type of tool, a creaser, so that you get nice crisp folds because there's a lot of folds in this card. So I'm going to put this over here. Another piece that you're going to get is this one here. And I started out with 5 1/2 inches tall, but then I only had a 1/2 inch here. I want you to have that a little bit longer so that you have some room to kind of hold the magnets down, because this is where 2 of the magnets are going to go underneath this little flap area here. So for that extra inch, it's going to be 6 inches wide instead of 5 1/2, or 6 inches tall, sorry. So 6 inches by 4 1/4, scored at 2 3/4 inches here, okay, 2 3/4, and then you're going to score it at 5 inches, or coming from this direction, 1 inch. So you need your 1 inch little section over here. Then another thing that you're going to do is you're going to make a gap in there. And this is where the sliding piece of your card goes in and out. Okay? And this is why it can only be 2 3/4 inches. I'm sorry, 2 5/8 inches or less. Okay? Because you're only going to make the gap so wide. I made mine too. So it's 6 inches by 4 1/4, scored at 2 3/4. And then again at 5 inches. Okay, the 5 inches allows for you to have 1 more inch here. Once you've got that scored, then you're going to take your blade and you're going to press it in at the 3 1/2 inch mark, and you're going to go to the 3/4 inch mark. So you're going to go from here to here, right between those areas, because that gives you 3/4 of an inch up here and 3/4 of an inch down here for your connection. Okay, so I'm going to pull this back up again. This is 3/4 of an inch from this side, and this is 3/4 of an inch from that side. Okay, so you're just going to take the blade, press it in there, slice, lift it up. Now you have your little gap in here, and you may have to kind of manipulate it a little bit to get it to open up a bit so it's not so, I don't know, crusty. Okay. Oh, you're so sweet, you guys. Thank you. And then your third major piece, and again, like these could even be different colors, but I got these all from one sheet. This piece is 3 3/4 inches in this direction by 4 1/4. So it's the same width as all these other pieces. They're all 4 1/4 inches wide. And in this direction, you're going to score a 1/2 inch in here, which takes you to the 3 1/4 inch, because it was 3 3/4. We score it to bring it at 3 3/4, or from this side, it's a 1/2 inch. This part right here is what's going to dictate how tall your little pop-up or slider figure can move. It's got a 1/2 inch here, and when it folds out, it's got another 1/2 inch. And so if you look at this card, let's just take a peek at this one here. I'm going to put my finger right where the the Pooh Bear starts sliding, okay? From here to here is an inch. So this dictates how far your figure will move. It's gonna double this section here. So if you're looking at the metric cards, when you watch those videos from the other gals, they have I think it's a 1.5 centimeters. So it's a little bit longer. So theirs are gonna pop up 3 centimeters high, not an inch. And 3 centimeters is slightly taller than an inch, okay? So I just wanted to stick with some easy measurements on that part. Now we need some layers. And some of the layers come from the designer paper and some come from more cardstock. So if we're looking at this card, we have a layer on the front here. That is this piece. We have a layer here, which is this piece. And then we have a layer on this half here. So these are separated. These are not the same. They're not on the same piece. And that one's this one here. I'm also going to be using some of that Golden Glow color. This is one of the new in colors. I'm going to use that on the honey. So we're going to do that. Okay, then we already have the hydrangea hue, which is this piece, again, 2x4. What are the measurements of these? They are all 4 1/8 inches in this direction, 4 1/8, okay? And then this piece here, which is on the front, measures 3 1/8, so 4 1/8 by 3 1/8, or vice versa. And then we have one that is 3 inches, and then we have one that is 2 and slightly over 1/8, so 2 3/16, but slightly over will accommodate for this extra little 1/16 of an inch down here, because this here is 2 1/8. So we have to make this just slightly bigger because there's no golden glow at the top of this, because we want them to appear like they're flowing into each other. What are the designer paper layers that are for these? Well, let's go backwards now. For this piece, it's going to be 2 1/8 by 4. That's going to go here. For this next piece, it fits in here, 4 inches by 2 7/8, because this one was 3. So 2 7/8 by 4. These measurements will be written down in my blog post, so you can catch those written down later. And then for this piece, which is on the front of the card, that one we're going to cut from the designer paper. So from the designer paper, we have this really cool seam down here, and I've already sliced it right at the top with my trimmer to make it nice and flat. And you can see it goes right up to the edge there. So I want this piece to be 1/8 of an inch shorter in both directions. If this is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8, then I want a 3x4 piece out of here. I already cut to this spot here. I want to include more from this side, because this is already wider than 4 inches, right? So I'm going to put it in my trimmer and just slice a nice flat straight cut there. So I want 4 inches by 3 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it up to those marks. 4 inches by 3 inches. And it cuts off a little bit of the seam, but you could use that for something else, couldn't you? If not, we have this side of the paper, the designer paper. So this piece is going to layer in here like that. And then we also need a little Pooh Bear. Oh, no, I don't need a little. Oh, yeah, I do. I need a little Pooh Bear for the inside of the card. And that came from the cloud paper. So the back side of this cloud paper, I got a Pooh from. I also got the sky images from there already, right? So this paper is used on both sides. Let's see here. Where is a good Pooh we could do? And I could cut from another piece instead, but I think I'm going to die cut this one. Okay, we don't have to have the exact same one. So I'm going to just trim around these guys. Do you see that? Eeyore is in hydrangea hue. Pooh is in golden glow. Piglet is in barely blush. Kind of cool, right? Use those in colors. Okay, so we're gonna die cut that piece. And then we need our poo that's going up in the balloon. And I got that from this sheet. So you can just trim around this. And then we're gonna die cut that. So now I can take all these other papers and move them out of the way. How is everybody doing tonight, by the way? Yes, Mezzocat. So, and I hate to say this, but the Poo Suite is not available in all of the markets. It's available in the US. And I'm sorry to say that, but you can still grab these ideas and make your interactive card using other products. But I did want to show this off because I love it and want to share it with my US friends, my US customers. Okay, so let's go ahead and die cut these pieces. We're also going to die cut the honey. We need a scrap of, oh, and those are over here. We need a scrap of Very Vanilla. We need a scrap of Golden Glow. And then we need the Golden Glow for this sign too. So let's figure out what dyes those all come from. Let's see here. We need, oh, and from the stamp set, we're going to be using this one here. It never hurts to keep looking up. So we have that stamp mounted. And from this one, we're going to be using the bees. And let's grab from the dies. We need the honey pot and the honey. And we need the one that will die cut these characters. We need the frame, 2 frames. From this one, we need the frame that will do the balloon image. And then we need the one that will do the sentiment. And on this card here, I also use, you can see we use that same little image there, but I also use the leaf dies that were from this set right here. I used this die, which cut out the row of honey pots, either from the stamp set, or you can get it from the paper. I fussy cut out the cute little piglet looking up. And I used another die that fit within this one. So I think it was this one here. So I used that one there for that card. And I think those were the dies that I used. Yeah, because that card doesn't open up. All right, so let's take and fit these back in and bring in the die cutting machine called the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we will die cut all the pieces we need, and then we can start assembling, if that's okay with you guys. Yes, let's put this card together. Yay. Oh, I also want to tell you one other thing. I do have another product that's listed. Besides this embossing folder, I have another product that's listed, and it's the window sheets, because on this one, I just used clear. On this one, I used the Hydrangea Hue cardstock because it blended into the background paper. But if you want to have it kind of like disappear, you could use window sheets. So I added window sheets for that version of the card. All right, we need the platform number 1, die adapter plate number 2, a scratchy plate, and then we need our other plate for on top. I've also got some Post-it notes, oh, that is really dirty, isn't it? I've also got some Post-it notes that are going to help hold these in place. So we'll do some arranging here quickly, get that all lined up, put my sticky note across there, hoping that'll hold in place. I'm going to kind of shove it up there a bit, and then we'll die cut a couple of these guys. I think we'll do 2 rounds here. Is that okay? Let's run it through twice just so that we can die cut carefully. That's not lined up very well. Hang on. That looks better. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Deb mentioned that my blog oftentimes goes live after the YouTube. And that the link is in the description, and it has been the case lately, and I'm so sorry about that. sometimes I have it ready before, but tonight I decided to do a second version of the card instead of getting the blog post ready. So you're gonna have to wait just a little bit longer. But then I'll have two versions to photograph and give you in that blog post. So just give me some time to eat supper after the live is done, and then I will finish up the blog post. Often I do that too, because here's one of the reasons why I enjoy doing it that way. Oopsie, hang on. Is because if I make a mistake or I forget to include like a supply, I can alter it before the blog post goes live. And then those that are subscribed to my blog posts don't get misinformation. Let's say I have a measurement wrong. Like sometimes I feel better waiting, if that's okay. We're gonna line these guys up. But sometimes I want to invite my blog viewers, and so I will do my blog post first. It just depends on how accurate I'm feeling. All right, we're going to die cut these. And thank you to any of you who are new to my channel. I hope that you're having fun watching. Sorry that this time is a little different than I normally do. I normally go live on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Central Time, which converts to whatever time zone you're in at a different time, or at whatever time that you normally watch me at. But again, we had some things that were happening in my personal life here, and I felt those were more important. So I thought you guys could wait if that's okay. We're gonna poke that out of there. So now we have our cute little honey pot. All right, we're ready. We're ready to roll. Let's start putting this card together. Let's bring these pieces back in. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this inside layer. Let's make sure we have all our layers connected to each other. This one's going to go with that one, this one with that one. I'm going to do my inside layer at the top first. Okay, and this is the top of our card. This is the inside. Again, it's optional if you want to have just a rectangle or if you want it to open up. But I'm going to connect these together. I'm just going to use some seal adhesive. And then the clouds do have a direction. So when you look at this paper, make sure that your clouds don't look like they're upside down. You can't really tell on some pieces, but some pieces you can. So I'm going to mount that. And then I'm going to place this also onto the front top portion of the card. You can use glue, you can use seal adhesive, and we'll connect that up at the top. Okay. Oh, good. Thanks, Judy. She said, I'd rather have two versions and get the blog post later. Okay, so we have that set. Now we have to connect, and if you look at this, we have this layer in here, and we're going to work with that first before we connect it, because it's kind of a complicated little mechanism, but it'll make sense, and then you'll be cranking these cards out left and right. So this is the piece that's going to go on the inside. This is the part that gets attached right here, and that's the only part that gets attached. The rest of this kind of like sits loosely like this, and if you have magnets, it can close up. If you don't have magnets, it kind of like, you know, bounces away and bounces open. So make sure you do the magnets or some kind of closure. It just makes it better. But this is the look we're going to get. This will get tucked under. It will look like that. All right. So let's connect our magnets underneath here, and we want to avoid this span in here. So we want to have our magnets off to the side. And I have a link to my favorite extras in the video description. I do have some magnets on there that are small. The cards that you'll see on Ingrid's and Rachel's videos are a little bit wider. I think Rachel also used wider ones. These are tiny, but they're just the same depth. They're 1 millimeter depth. They're all connected to each other on here. So I don't know, I work with, you don't have audio, Doreen? Okay, good. Thank you, you guys. I'm freaking out a little bit. Yeah, just log out and log back in if you can see my words on like a closed caption. Okay, so I like to get the smaller ones because then I can work in smaller spaces. But if you prefer wider ones, sometimes they even come self-adhesive. You can find them. Amazon is where I have a link to it in my favorite extras. So I'm going to go ahead. It doesn't matter which end you start with, but I love this smaller size too because it's like almost the same size as our glue dots. So I take and open this up, and then I stick the end, the whole stack of them, because they're going to connect together anyways, the whole stack of them, and I pick up a glue dot. And then I'm going to place that glue dot there. Okay, so it's close to the top of where that fold is. It's about a magnet width in, and it's not too far, or it's not, it's a little far away from this little crease here. So it's kind of in that zone, but up high. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. Keep that same side. You want to have these to be able to connect with each other. Keep that same end in your hand and grab another glue dot. Put it in the approximate same spot as your other one. It doesn't have to be like totally accurate because nobody's going to see the magnets. Okay, so super close, but yeah, so they might be like a millimeter off. Anyways, they look good. Now go ahead and put your magnets aside. You're going to come back to them in a minute. We're going to go ahead and glue just this and just this down. We're not going to glue across here because we need to have this slide in and out. So if this is glued, you're not going to have your mechanism that slides able to move. So you're just going to glue here, and you're going to fold it down and enclose those little magnets in there. Thank you. I love teaching, Mary. I appreciate the kind words. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit of glue across here. You could use tape too, or other glue dots. I love teaching. It's my favorite. All right, so now I'm going to press down and get that glue kind of smushed in there. You're going to feel a little lump, and that's okay. The lump is okay, all right? Oh, good. I'm glad you like them, Heidi. Heidi picked the same magnets that I have linked in my favorite extras, and she says they are awesome. Thank you. So just give that a little bit of a rub and press that in place. And now when we add magnets to this other portion here, they're going to come together and hold it shut when we're not opening the card. Okay, so this is the side that we're going to glue. And as long as this doesn't have glue underneath it, it's going to continue to slide, but we can put glue across this to attach it to the card later. For now, let's go ahead and add this piece to the front. Okay, so this is the part that connects to the back portion right here, this little strip. So that lays here. This, with the fold at the bottom, is going to go right here. And these are going to connect together like that. Okay, they're going to be bonded together. Now, I think on Rachel's video, she used like designer paper to connect here. So you don't have to necessarily make it cardstock on cardstock. This piece here could be designer paper. For that matter, this could even be designer paper, but I did use thicker stuff. I also want to point out that I think it helps to not have this fold go beyond this section here, because when you are folding your card flat, if this has to go over a bump, like if this was longer, let's say it had to go over a bump here, I think it might have some difficulty. Don't hold me to it, but I think that's why their cards and why I decided to do it with this one. It's the same distance away from where this starts. All right. Okay. All right. So now let's glue these together. We have a decision to make. We can either put our magnet between these layers, or we can make it go underneath any of these layers. But your other magnets that are going to connect to the ones you already have in here need to go in there at some point. Because I want the magnet pull to be nice and strong, I decided that I'm going to put mine right here now. So let's show you how you do that. So keep this closed. Then you take your stick of magnets, and this is the repelling side. See, it's not connecting. Flip it over. There we go. So it wants to connect right there. You can take and put like a little mark there with a pencil so that you're aiming in the right spot. Just lift it up and kind of put a little mark there. Where's that one? Right there. So if that helps you, you can do that. Or you can just take and add your glue dot like we did before and just kind of hover and wait for it to grab it and pull it. And it will go right in the spot that you need. Okay? All right, so there's that. And then do the same thing with the other side. You're so, hey, Karen, you're here with us. Yay. This is the card. Karen emailed me and asked for the letter version, the inches version of this. So I hope that you're enjoying this. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Yay. Okay, so I've got my magnets on there and you can see they're on there with glue dots. So when you open and close this, it's gonna connect, right? It's holding it together. All right, so we've got that. That means we can now connect these pieces together. And again, this little flap has to go back to the back. So let's put glue all over the surface here. And I'm using glue because I think it's going to bond tighter than tape. Sometimes tape wants to pull away. This glue, once it's bonded, man, it is really hard to separate cardstock layers and all of that. So this glue, by the way, is in my precision tip bottle. I keep forgetting to mention that. It's in my precision tip bottle, and it is the multi-purpose liquid glue. If you do decide to get this, there is a link in my favorite extras showing how to fill it, because sometimes people have trouble with that. Those little holders from the Country Hive, by the way. Okay, we've got our glue on there. Let's flip this over. Let's connect this piece to this piece. I'm just going to open up that portion there so it's easier to line everything up. And we'll just flip it over and just kind of hold it and press, okay? Oh, you didn't get to watch from the beginning? Thank goodness these stay here forever and ever and ever, right? You guys rock. Oh, good. Thank you. All right, so now we'll just rub that a little bit more. You know what? I'm going to move up a little bit if I can. Oh, I can't. All right, so we might have been, no, we're not off. I think we're okay. I think I just had a slight off cut there. Hopefully it'll line up. Shh, don't tell anyone. I was paying attention to something else. Okay, so that's done. And now, again, this little part here, when you fold it up, it's right at that spot where that cardstock folds. And when we open this all the way, it slides up and down and up and down. Now, we're gonna add our hydrangea, our little slip of paper in here. This comes next. This can be your window sheet if you want it to be clear. You wanna center this. And this can be added with your multi-purpose liquid glue. It can be added with seal adhesive. If you're using window sheet, I recommend seal adhesive because the glue doesn't really work with the window sheet as well. You want it stuck right in that spot like that. You'll put your adhesive on here. You'll fold it up and connect and bond those together. Now let's see how it works. So let's open this, and there goes the sliding mechanism. Okay, isn't that cool, you guys, how that works? All right, now we can add this onto the front of our card. When we add this, we only put glue here. Don't put it here, don't put it here, don't put it here. It's only right here. And I'm gonna do glue again instead of seal adhesive because I really wanna make sure that this is so super, super strong and tight to the card. Don't have anything ooze out either. Be careful. You don't want any oozing because you don't want anything to stick in the wrong spot. When you place this down, keep it all folded and then make sure that this bottom folded edge lines up with the bottom edge of your card like that. And then you press it in place and hold. All right. It's kind of looking like it. There's the finished one. We're getting there. It has a few details, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna open this and I'm gonna press even more into this spot here. Okay, now we're going to add the die cut little balloon. So when Pooh is up in the air, I wanna see his body beyond there. When he's down, and I'm just holding it here, it looks like it stops right about there, which is perfect for this. Now, if you wanted to, let's say you have too much exposed, you could make this portion of this flap, this front flap here, even higher. It does not have to be just this high. It could be higher than that if you want to. You just have to adjust your measurements. All right, so let's connect that because he's not really on there. He's just like, I don't know how he's holding on. And for this, you also want to have a portion of this under this little slit. If you have this sitting up here like that, or let's say you did, like in Rachel's video, she had some mushrooms that she added on one of her cards and they were up above where this slit is. But then what she did is she layered even more pieces on top. And the reason why you don't want to have anything just loose sitting like that is because once you start sliding down, it could catch on that slit and pop up, right? So you have to have something already tucked in there in order for that to slide up and down without causing issues. So we're going to tuck a portion of this down in here. We also want to make sure it's nice and straight. And I am going to just kind of like slide this and hold these two together. And then I'm going to look. And I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to let it slide back out. And I'm going to lift this up and add some adhesive here. Okay, now it's stuck there, but I also want to add some under here. So I'm going to go ahead and lift this up, and I'm just going to add a little bit down here, tuck that back in. And now we have our Pooh Bear floating on that balloon in the air. You can see that like there's a little bit more of the balloon showing here. And I thought it would be fun to add in some of this ribbon, but I didn't want to have too much of it. I wanted just a dainty amount. So I kind of estimated how much I'd need for a bow, and I cut there, and then I trimmed my ribbon in half in that direction to get a thinner little bow. So we're going to take and tie this into a ribbon, into a bow, sorry. And I probably had more than I needed. I probably didn't need this much. But then you'll just take and adjust the ends to get your bow the right size. You can take another glue dot. There's one right there. Add it on to the back side of your bow. Take and stick that on your balloon. And then take a nice sharp scissors and trim the ends. Now when you open this up, the ribbon ends are going to go back inside the card. That's totally fine. Okay? It doesn't matter when you close it if those ribbon ends stay within the card. The other thing that we have is the little label piece here. We want to have that layered together with these. So we'll go ahead and do these next. For this piece, we can add that with glue. We can add it with seal adhesive. And just add that right into our Golden Glow layer. We're going to stamp with a darker color. I'm using Early Espresso for the words. And we're going to stamp It Never Hurts to Keep Looking Up. I love that. And we'll stamp that in the center. Flip that over. And then we'll add 2 dimensionals on the back side. But I'm not going to make them go towards the end. I want them to be away from the ends because I'm going to put embellishments right at the end. But I want them to be wide enough where they're going to support the sentiment, okay? Okay. What did Heidi say, you guys? Oh, the Storybook Friends set. Oh my gosh, yes. That was a great suite. Okay, and I think I'm going to add this after I add this to the front here. That would really like give it the same similar kind of feel, wouldn't it? Good idea, Heidi. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, so that's going to go here. This is going to go here, looking centered. And I think it helped to put this on after because you could kind of use the bow center to kind of dictate where the center of your sentiment strip is. On here, this is where we're going to pull in our in color dots. And I'll use my Take Your Pick tool to grab a couple of these. I think I'll do the small ones just to give you a different look. because it doesn't matter if they're small or big. This one has the bigger ones on it. This one has the smaller ones. And then we'll open that up and let's finish off the inside. So for the inside of the card, I have this cute little haze of blue down here. For that haze of blue, I brought in the Hydrangea Hue ink pad and my blending brushes. So I've already used the large brush with my Peaceful Pine. I've pulled a smaller one to use with Hydrangea Hue. And because the little honey pot is going to cover up any kind of mistake or dense part of the color, we'll just start right where the honey pot's gonna go. Okay, we'll just start right there and we'll start swirling our color out to make a nice haze of blue. See how it's super dense in the middle there? But we're gonna cover that up with our little honey pot. So that works. And I'm gonna keep on going out with this color a little bit more. All right, let's glue this down. Let's go ahead and take and put glue on this because I feel like if I put the seal across here, I might have some tape ripping where the cuts are in this because those are cuts, you guys. But be careful not to put too much glue on there either because they can ooze through there. And that'll get stuck down here. Wipe off your fingers. We have the top of the honey. And this is where tweezers would come in handy. Just take and add your tiny amount of glue onto the honey, right in through there, and lay that down onto your honey pot. Like that. Oh, that looks so yummy. Now I need to go have honey. I'm gonna close this up. We're gonna stamp those little bees. And we probably could have done this ahead of time because now we have a little bit of pressure on here, but hopefully the bees will stamp okay. Yeah, so back up, do this part first, then add this on the front. All right, make sure your bees are going in the right direction also. You don't want them to be upside down. We'll stamp them there. Please work, please work, please work. Oh, good, that worked. It was a tiny enough image where it couldn't be flawed. And then we just need to add this little section in here and our inside little Pooh Bear. So we'll go ahead and add these together. And when we add these together, you're gonna have the top portion of it meeting up with the top edge of the Golden Glow. So that is gonna go right up to that edge. We're not gonna have any Golden Glow showing. There we go, like that. And then this will go on the front of the lower flap. On this card, these pieces are different because I did not put a piece down here. I put another couple layers down here instead. So in the measurements, you're gonna see measurements for this card and then you'll just have to work with it to adjust for that card. So I will lay this right down here. And we wanna make sure that we're covering up any vanilla there. So you can kind of go a little beyond if you have to. There's that. We have the inside done, you guys. We have the outside done. Let's open up our card where we would have some writing in here. Grab our Hydrangea Hue color again. Lift up a bit of this. And we'll go ahead and make a little haze of color down here again, starting where your Pooh Bear is going to sit. And we'll just add a little bit more. Just do a swirly motion. Check to see if it'll work. I think I want just a little bit more over by Piglet. Okay, and then we'll add this with some seal or glue right in this spot. Like that. Oh, they're so cute. Adorbs. And then on this card, I also had embellishments here and here. So just to kind of make this piece that stuck up a little more decorative. I hope that this inspired you guys to do some creating and making some interactive little cards like this pull open, slide up card. Again, a big thank you to Karen, who led me to this idea and who is watching with us live. And a big thank you to Ingrid and Rachel for the card idea in the other sizing. I hope that this inspires you to create some. If you have some cards that you're creating using this little fold, these directions, I really encourage you to join me on my Facebook group. It's called Stamp Your Art Out Group. And make sure you answer membership questions. That's always like ignored. I don't know why. They probably pop up too late. People walk away. But answer the membership questions, then you get led into the group and you can share your version. It's so fun to see what people create based on the videos that I share. Sometimes people text me, some people email me, but I love to see if I've inspired your creativity. Now we have some things that are happening right now besides the new products that just debuted yesterday from the catalog, the May through August catalog, the new in colors, so many new other things. Oh my gosh, you guys, Sunset Coast Suite, Waterside Retreat Suite, oh, the one with the lily, what are they called? Lily of the Valley flowers. Oh my gosh, there's so many beautiful new products. So I hope that you take a peek at that. There is in the description a link to shopping so you can check them all out. If you do decide to purchase, those links that are in the video description will lead you directly to my website, and I'll post that up there right now, stampyourartout.com. In fact, let's just take a quick visit over there. I'm going to bring this out of the way for a minute and pull this up on my computer so you can see. Let's go to this spot. Okay, here we go. My website, stampyourartout.com. When you're here, you can visit blog posts. You can see lots of different creative ideas. If you're a paper pumpkin fan, I have lots of things in here. There's a May Join special. I'll talk about that in a minute. You can get the starter kit. You can click on this, look at the catalog. You can even shop from my favorite extras. My favorite extras is what I mentioned earlier, where you can find the magnets and where you can find the precision tip glue bottle with the little ink filling tip video here. Rulers that I love. Gosh, there's even Post-it note links in here. So all that stuff can help guide you to creating the same projects that I make. I also want to direct you to a calendar that you can find in the video description. That calendar link will lead you to this, and you can see we're on the 6th right now at 5 p.m. But it shows you, I think it even will convert to your time. I don't know, you guys tell me. But these things here are more lives coming up. This is a members only live right after my public one on Friday morning. And then you can see what's coming up. So hope that helps. Rose says, where's the team meeting going to be? We're going to meet right after this on YouTube. There's a link that's in the newsletter. I sent out a newsletter yesterday morning, but then I sent a retraction of that. So you can join me on the Inside Scoop at 6:15 pretty soon here. There's also a link to it in our Facebook group if you're watching and you're on my team. Okay, what else do I want to share with you? I want to share with you the join offers that's happening. So yeah, Rose is from my group. We have fun, don't we, Rose? If you're interested in joining as a demonstrator, you don't have to do demonstrator things like me. You don't have to sell to anybody. You can be a discount shopper. Most of the people that get the kit are discount shoppers, and then we just have fun getting discounts and shopping and getting pre-orders in. But you can also turn this into a mini business or a big business, whatever you want to do. You have flexibility when you get the starter kit. So if you're interested in getting the starter kit right now, instead of just getting up to $125 worth of product for $99 plus tax, free shipping, it's the best deal always. But instead of just the best deal always, you can add either an extra $35 in product of your choice, or you can add the ink pads that I just shared with you. These new ink pads. So if you want to get the new ink pads in all the new colors, those 5 new colors, it's a $63 value, and you can get that for free with the purchase of a starter kit as of yesterday through the end of May. All right. What else is happening? What else do I want to tell you guys about? New product of the month is out there. New kits. There's a new crafting class online that you can purchase through the Stampin' Up! Orders. Yeah, there's so much happening, you guys. It's a fun time. I hope that you had fun and enjoyed what I shared today. I'm trying to peek to see if there's any questions. I should ask that right now. I've been reading your comments and trying to find out if anybody has questions on what I shared today. If you do, you can always, I've got emails that are in the descriptions of my videos too. You can reach out to me that way. anything else. I'm peeking. If you're a member of my channel, which means you're not just a subscriber, but you help fund my channel, you can do that at the fan level, 99 cents per month. And I thank you so much for doing that. You get emojis to use, and you get priority in getting answered on your comments. And then like there's also the $5.99 level, and you get the extra bonus video per month. So each month. And I missed last month's because we had some things happening in our family that things are calming down from that, but just some personal stuff happening in our family. And so I missed doing a members only live at the end of April, which is why we have one coming up here on Friday. And then I'll do another one at the end of May. What does all joining on YouTube consist of? Actually, when you click on that membership link, it will show you what you get at those two different levels. You can just subscribe to my channel too. It's totally free to subscribe, and then you can change your notifications so you get, notices, email notifications of when I'm going live. Yeah, so, all right. Thanks, Rose. Okay, I hope you had fun. Don't forget to make some of these really cool pull open slide up cards using your products of your choice and share them with me. Take care, and now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye, everyone.